Welcome to today's video, which is a rainy day here in northern Minnesota. What we're going to do is a couple things on the Trans Am, as well as a little update on the Corvette. I'm going to get the AC working in this video, as well as put in some LED reverse lights. So, it's not going to be, a big modification or anything to either car, but it's going to get this one closer to being in good shape, and I'm going to install a Z06 third brake light on the Corvette. When I bought it, the air conditioning didn't work. So for whatever reason, he said that the lines were drained when they installed the cam, but when I looked down there, I'll grab a light, hang on. Behind the crankshaft, on the rear pulley, see back there, the serpentine drive is on the forward end of the crankshaft, and on the rear end, that's the air conditioning belt drive. I am pretty sure that somebody just pulled it off. The tensioner pulley feels fine down there, and the air conditioning compressor pulley feels good too. Seems to be lacking a belt. So, if we're really lucky, there'll be a little bit of fluid in here. We can test that just by pushing on the Schrader valve. Up. So there's a little bit of pressure in there. We might have to add a little bit of R134A refrigerant, but if that's the case, that's not such a big deal. And it'd be really nice to have air conditioning in this car. People do take the belt off because they think that there's parasitic loss from the accessory drive spinning under wide open throttle, but the clutch in the air conditioning compressor actually shuts off, and as far as I know, all GM LS based vehicles under high RPM, Corvette shuts off. This should shut off, so it doesn't actually drag any more than it takes to just free spin the compressor, and it spins really easy. I would say that the benefit of having air conditioning is going to far outweigh the 0.05 horsepower you'll gain from it. So I just think it's another thing in a long list of boy racer mods that I just don't care for. So I'll get the serpentine drive off, we'll throw the belt on, start it up, and see what develops. If you ever do take this belt off, it's just a 15mm socket, and it might get stuck here. Let's see. Oh, that looks like we're good. So that's what I got to do to get the belt off. Just take the tension off of the pulley. So here is the new 4134 K4. It's just a Duralast belt. Alright, sorry for the harsh light, but on the bottom side of the car, we got to get around the air conditioning compressor pulley, the crank pulley, so we'll go right between those two belts, and hopefully that'll be it down here. We can put on the belt when we get back up top and start it up and see if we got some cool air.
Whenever your heart is broken, don't ever forget you're golden. I will find the light in your soul, I'll be there. Never leaving you in the darkness.
We're gonna have to take a break and come back to this. The factory size belt is actually 1 inch to 2 inches too small. So I gotta run back to the parts store and get a new air conditioning belt because this one's just a little too small. I didn't have to move the tensioner at all. It flopped right over the crank pulley and the air conditioning compressor, and both the idler and tensioner. So that's wrong. The factory belt that I got at the parts store is right though, which is nice because there's not gonna be any guesswork with that. It's actually got the same part number as the Gates belt I pulled off. So I think that's about all I need for now, and we'll be back in a flash with hopefully a few belts to try. So we're back from the parts store, and I have two different belts. This one's 39.9 inches, and this is 38.9 inches. So the factory one was just over 40, I believe. I'd have to think back. I'll look it up quick. Anyway, so these two are 1 to 2 inches shorter, so one of these should be the one. We'll get back into the car, I'll install it. Kind of boring to watch, but I'll just let you know which one I ended up using. So I ended up using the Duralast 390 K4 belt. This one was just a little bit too long, and I could slide it off of the idler pulley really easy. This one's a little bit better. Give you a quick look under the car before we start to button it up. Plenty of space, no crazy angle, and there's tension on it, as much as the tensioner pulley could put on it. So I'm going to zip on the rest of the serpentine belt, and I guess that's it. We'll give it a start and see what happens. Alright, so serpentine belt slid on perfect, and we got the air conditioning belt on down there too. So I think we're ready to start it. I'll get the lid back on, and we'll see what develops. Alright, so the moment of truth is upon us. There's a Convoy side-by-sides rolling by. Both belts are hooked up, and I'm gonna see if the AC works. Let it run for a second here. We'll see. Pretty sure I heard the clutch engage. Or whether or not it actually cools off, that's a whole other question. We'll give it a minute here. Looks like we're still on down there. So, kind of like I would have anticipated, this is getting a little bit cooler, but it's not actually cooling it off yet. Or what I'm trying to say is that the air conditioning needs to be charged, because we are not getting any cold air out of it, even with the compressor engaging and everything. So it seems like everything else is installed and pretty well sealed up, so I don't think anything is going to leak out. I do have to get an AC charging kit though. And I don't remember if this is the high pressure or the low pressure side, which is which. I'll have to look into it a little bit, but I do have to charge this a little bit. So we'll pick up one of those and we'll give her another shot. All right, so we're back in the garage. We had to do a take 2 because yesterday I got the belt for the air conditioning system on this, and that ended up working out really good, but I think that the system's empty. So I got a couple of these regular parts store air conditioning recharge kits hooked up to the low pressure port on the car, which in this case is right here. It just clicks right on. This is the high pressure side, I believe. It does not fit on this port. So anyways, we got to start the car, turn the AC to the maximum, and we will start to fill it up until the green fill area. You do have to oscillate the bottle just a little bit while it's running to keep the line from freezing, I believe, and to keep it mixed up. So anyways, we'll start the car and we'll start charging the system. You don't want to turn the air conditioning on to the max, all the way cold, and turn the fan all the way on. So hopefully we'll start feeling a little bit of cold air coming out in a second here. Let's take a moment to appreciate this. That is cold. See, so she's getting it. It took all of one bottle, and part of the second one just didn't seem like it was taking anymore, so I kind of stopped. Maybe you can see this or not, but she's about as cold as it will possibly get. Doesn't seem like it's leaking anywhere or anything crazy like that, and it is ice cold in the car now. At the LED reverse lights installed, they're pretty bright. They're just regular parts store LEDs, but they really update the back of the car. So, not too terribly interesting, but also a little bit of a rear facelift, so I thought I'd include in the video. So we're all done with the installation, and here's the third brake light on the Corvette. Nothing too crazy, just a little touch. I do like it though. It gives it a little bit different look. It's like a wannabe Wicker Bill kind of deal. It's hardly aggressive, but it's interesting. I think it's better than the flat piece that was there from the factory on these coupes. A little bit bigger. So I guess if you could picture the old one, you take the lip off. So that'll about do it for today's video. We got the AC working, we got the LED reverse lights installed, and we're getting another step closer to getting this thing into good shape. I do have the water pump hanging over my head, and that kind of sucks. It's not really the most fun job to do, but that'll be done in probably the next video. I am working with UMI on getting some of their lower control arm relocation brackets, a strut tower brace, and welded subframe connectors for the car. So hopefully that'll come up in the next couple weeks in another video, and we'll start getting the car more and more dialed in. I did just start an Instagram account, and it is going to be the same name as the YouTube channel. My Instagram is going to be Greenlight Filming. So if you're interested in that too, I'll be posting more pictures of cars and stuff and videos that I take than just the two cars here. There's a lot more out there, and it's hard to actually add that kind of stuff into videos, but I go do a lot of car stuff. So anyways, if you like today's video, like, subscribe, comment. If you have any questions or any parts that I used on this, or belt lengths or anything with the underdrive pulley that's on it, feel free to drop a comment. Anyways, take care, and we'll see you next time.
Hold me close till I get up. Time is barely on our side.